speedboat, of all things, in broad daylight. And apparently an American citizen was one of the individuals who was extinguished. And there are captives. We're going to go over that. We're going to go over Hillary and her testimony. And bill is supposed to go up tomorrow. So, and we have another ruling from a judge we've heard from before that is substantially attempting to substantially withhold deportations, lawful deportations that had already been ruled on by the Supreme Court. So what do you do? But the media puts it out there like Donald Trump is defying court orders, which he hadn't done. He's gone through and followed through with every damn single one of them. So anyway, what do I do while people are coming in and settling in? I play some videos to give people time to get a cup of coffee, a cold brouhaha, or an adult beverage. I haven't had a chance to watch this one myself, so we can both enjoy it. But then what do? We'll be like butter and get on a roll.
Agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens.
Not only in the states most heavily affected, but in every place in this country are rightly disturbed by the large numbers of illegal aliens entering our country. The jobs they hold might otherwise be held by citizens or legal immigrants. The public service they use impose burdens on our taxpayers. That's why our administration has moved aggressively to secure our borders more, by hiring a record number of new border guards, by deporting twice as many criminal aliens as ever before, by cracking down on illegal hiring, by barring welfare benefits to illegal aliens. In the budget I will present to you, we will try to do more to speed the deportation of illegal aliens who are arrested for crimes, to better identify illegal aliens in the workplace, as recommended by the commission headed by former Congresswoman Barbara Jordan. We are a nation of immigrants, but we are also a nation of laws. It is wrong and ultimately self-defeating for a nation of immigrants to permit the kind of abuse of our immigration laws we have seen in recent years, and we must do more to stop it.
So Zoran Mamdani just issued a travel ban in New York City, shutting down the bridges, the tunnels, the streets, saying you better stay your ass in your house. Isn't that interesting? And if you do want to come outside, you got to bring your documentation, bring your papers, bring 2 pieces of ID, social security card, pictures. And the only way you can come outside is if you're working for us, you shoveling that snow. So interesting how socialism feels so much like authoritarianism. But don't worry, you'll have the warmth of collectivism to keep you comfy.
Today's ceremony, however, has very special meaning, because today we are not merely transferring power from one administration to another, or from one party to another, but we are transferring power from Washington, D.C., and giving it back to you, the people.
Storm zone. Yes, sir. I'm wondering what storm you're talking about.
And they have unsuccessfully tried to take down the wrong person.
He's absolutely going to come back with full vengeance the next time around.
Think about what 4 years of a retribution presidency might look like. Our Constitution really does give the president tremendous power to destroy. This will be something we could never have imagined. Now the gloves are off.
Some of Trump's close political allies told him they are working on figuring out the identities of the FBI and DOJ DOJ staff and forming lists.
I will direct a completely overhauled DOJ to investigate every radical DA and HE in America for their illegal, racist enforcement of the law. The deep state is destroying our nation, but the tables must turn, and we will quickly destroy the deep state. We know where the bodies are buried. There are a lot of people out there that have done some very, very evil things, very bad things, I would say treasonous things against our country. People that have done such harm to our country. I've been looking at them for a long time.
He could order the investigation and prosecution of individuals who he perceives as enemies.
Put them all in jail where they belong. You gotta get tough and smart, and you have to fight fire with fire. You can't allow this to go on. And I will be the one to clean it up. I am your retribution. We will take care of it. We will take care of it.
Hi, folks. Thank you for joining me tonight. I am once again simulcasting on Rumble and Utizzle. I forgot to mention that at the beginning. I decided to give it another shot with Rumble Bumble there. And thank you all for coming in on Utizzle and Rumble. And I hope you remember to give me a thumbs up on both platforms. Todd, how you doing? Sissy, nice to see you. Cole, nice to see you. All right, Robin's here. Sherry's here. All right. Who's rolling in tonight? Miss Mendersue is here. Ha. Randy's here. Make sure I don't miss anybody. I don't want anybody getting mad at me. Darla, nice to see you. Benjamin. And all my lurkers. Any lurkers out there? And if you have a differing opinion, feel free. Come into chats. But, just be cool about it. Hi, Elva. How you doing? I mean, we had one, what was the name? Gravedigger or something like that. Flannel Cheese, nice to see you. Ha. Yeah, B Charming's here. All right. Ha. Nice to see you. She's here, she says. All right, folks. So, those two videos I played, it gives you a little notion about how much, what they tell us is all BS. What did Clinton talk about in 1995, 30 years ago? We've toughened the border. We have stopped illegal immigrants from getting welfare benefits. It's all BS. It was all lies. It was all unbelievable, like what you see on the screen. And the other clip I played, the fella sitting there talking about you need 2 forms of ID. I asked last night, I said, why do you think that was? And nobody responded in the comments, and I forgot about it. Hi, Rebecca. Angela, nice to see you. And I forgot all about it. But I think he wanted IDs. You know why? Because if anybody did show up to shovel snow, it would be a legal citizen. And it would be symbolic that we're reduced to going out and shoveling snow while you have this large swath of population sitting on their rear ends that have no business being in this country. Okay? It's all psyops, every damn thing they do. But nobody played the game. Nobody jumped in. But they're getting people at that point. Hi, Brett. Nice to see you. They're getting people at that point where we actually have to be the servants, right? The servants to our newfound neighbors. The other stunt they pull. The residents of Minnesota, our neighbors and residents. They leave out the part they're illegal. All just a damn game. Just a damn game. So, speaking of that, getting 2 forms of ID to go out and shovel snow, I had, what was this? Babylon Bee. Devastating black New Yorkers unable to shovel driveways as none of them have ID. You know, when we were kids, we had it was a little ways away, but there was a we call it a high dollar neighborhood. That's a high dollar neighborhood, and we get our shovels and take off for the high dollar neighborhood and do people's walkways and driveways and pocket the money, you know, make money and work, you know, burn off that youthful energy and build a little bit of muscle and learn the value of a dollar. And, you know, also you come across somebody who is older and didn't have a lot of money, you know, you give them a little break. You know, you make sure you check on that person, see how they're doing, and she'd have cookies for you and stuff like that. You all know what I'm talking about. Those days are gone. We got to bring them back. How you doing, Wayne? Got to bring them back. Respect for older people. Want to help your neighbors. But if somebody comes and does something for you, especially a young person, you show them there's rewards in life. That is all being swept aside. People want a cookie for getting up in the morning. Like Ayn Rand said, they want to get paid for breathing. Paid for breathing. So, anyway, I don't know what I want to talk about first, Hillary or the Cuban boat or the spies on Cash Patel and Trump's chief of staff, Susan Wiley, is that her name? I want to show how the other news organizations are putting this stuff out. This stuff that's happening right now, if the shoe was on the other foot, it was Republicans. A Republican governor getting fingered for everything going on in Minnesota. How you wouldn't hear it would be blowing up the news every night. All the things we're seeing that Democrats are getting caught in. And what does the news do? They're captured. They're captured. I'm telling you, it's a $1 trillion value in having a narrative, being able to affect the mind's eye, how people perceive life. And isn't that what it all boils down to? Right to the book of Genesis? How you perceive life instead of how life really is. So Netflix is giving up their bid to buy Warner Brothers. So little victories. Isn't that odd? I think I will talk about that right now. Let's see. When Susan Rice put out her crap threats to Trump supporters, when we get back in power, you're going to pay a price. Oh, yeah? Well, Trump said you fire her and or else you're going to pay a price. So, then they put out and say, we're not going to fire her. We're standing our ground. You know, you can't make us fire her. Well, what happened? Let's see. An Epstein email pops up. You know, we're talking millions of documents. Steve Bannon, lawyer for Susan Rice, in reference to lawyer for Susan Rice, Obama administration justifiably concerned about sharing intel with Trump team, Politico. Spent 2 hours on conference call with her yesterday. The Flynn focus was clever, where they were trying to railroad General Flynn. Susan Rice. Do you think Bill Clinton would like to join you and me, Ehud and Steve? Could be very funny, all off the record. Who's this from? To Kathy Rumier. Obama administration, classified intelligence, Michael Flynn, Trump. Oh, there's Trump's name mentioned again in the Epstein files. Yeah, when they're trying to overthrow him, trying to frame him, trying to railroad him, they're going to mention him a lot of times. All this stuff going on. She was on a conference call with him through the grapevine. I guess it's documented in the files. Susan Rice was in a conference call for 2 hours with the Epstein crowd or Epstein himself and others, talking about how to get rid of Donald Trump. Well, then the next thing you know, Netflix drops their claim. Let me see which one is it. Let me see. Oh, this is something else. Drops their attempt to purchase Warner Brothers. You have to take my word for it. I didn't get a news picture of that, but it's all over the place. Oh, something else. So anyway, that was that a trade-off where they say, oh, we're standing our ground. We're going to keep Susan Rice, but we're going to drop our bid for Warner Brothers. Trump got a pound of flesh from him. Speaking of somebody having to put out a pound of flesh, he doesn't have a big network backing him up anymore. He's got to pay his own damn legal bills because he's an independent journalist, don't you know? Don Lemon sued for, quote, severe emotional distress. How many times have you all heard me say that is actionable? Actionable. The intentional infliction of emotional harm, emotional distress. How many times you all heard me say that? Well, here it is. It's going to cost him hundreds of thousands of dollars. I hope it was worth it. Plus, he's got to pay his legal defense for the criminal charges. Emotional distress over Minneapolis church protests. Kind of hard to get around that, Don, when you say, oh, those kids, they're going to be traumatized. That's called emotional distress, Don. Traumatizing children. But that's what protesting's all about, traumatizing people. Churchgoer Ann Duchette claims the independent journalist took satisfaction in the disruption that led to his controversial arrest. There's no controversy to me. I said lock his ass up from day one. So anyway, Benjamin's here, Greg's here. Nice to see you. Who else came in? Anybody, any lurkers pop in? Ha ha. All right. Yes, Wayne says, give me a thumbs up. I appreciate that very much. If you would give me a thumbs up, helps the video to get around. So anyway, a lot of stuff I didn't talk about last night and the night before, the broadcast before that. You know, I got rudely interrupted. But here's some aftermath of, you all heard about Gavin Newsom. I had that clip, but they got rid of me because I just had so many clips I couldn't play them all. But and by the time I could play it, everybody's seen it already. Gavin Newsom talking about his low scores on SAT, trying to tell black people, well, I'm just like you. I can't get a good score on SAT. What an idiot. But anyway, here's Stephen Smith and Wesley Hunt talking about Gavin Newsom making an idiot of himself.
I can feel one way about it. How did you feel about it?
Well, I call it the soft bigotry of low expectations. There are a lot of black men and women that aren't like that. A lot of us really did study hard. We really did work very hard. You see, I had parents that believe in education. We had a sign in our house that said Jesus plus education equals success. There's a reason why my brother, sister, and I all went to West Point. There's a reason why I earned 3 master's degrees and 4 years from Cornell University. My brother is a Harvard Business School graduate. My sister has her master's degree in applied mathematics. It was a West Point instructor while both my brother and I were cadets, and we were black doing it the entire time. And so when you say that I can't read and I have a 960 SAT, the insinuation that you are putting on all black people is that we are a monolith, is that this is how you view us. This is what you really think about us. And look, I understand some of it may have been a little bit tongue in cheek and he was pandering to an audience, but for whatever reason, I see a lot of pandering that comes from the left. I think about Hillary Clinton carrying hot sauce in her purse. I think about Joe Biden saying, if you don't vote for me, then you ain't black. I think about Kathy Hochul talking about, black kids don't even know what a computer is. And I see these kinds of things and I just shake my head. That is not who we are as a people. Now, Stephen, you talk about you didn't do good on your SATs, but you have a pretty extensive vocabulary, as I have heard over the years. So clearly you're an astute man and you have studied quite a bit. But that's just it. We are not the same. And you have to understand why that's insulting to people like me. Gavin, you're not like me. I studied my butt off to get here. I worked my butt off to get here. Hard work, grit, determination. And I'm standing on my own 2 feet as a black man that represents a white majority district that President Trump would have won by 20 points. And I won by 25 points because I'm being judged not by the color of my skin, but by the content of my character. And there are a lot of conservative white people and black people and Hispanic people that voted for me. But under no circumstances are you going to just belittle us by assuming that all black people have a 960 SAT and we can barely read.
What? Yeah. What are they doing it? Are they doing it on purpose? I mean, are they being that insulting to help people wake up? Is what I'm saying. Are they being recruited, or told, look, you got to play ball because we got you. We got all of you with your criminal acts. Or are they really that disingenuous and stupid? And yeah, he had it all tucked away in his head and ready to. I mean, Stephen Smith's a fast talker, but Wesley Hunt. That's the first time I've seen Stephen A. Smith be quiet that long and listen to somebody. He had it all figured out. Knew exactly what he wanted to say. So. Anyway, so Hillary testified today, and we've been talking about it for months, and they have been resisting for months. And I've seen these other news organizations act like, well, they want to testify in public. And why do they want to hide her testimony? What are they trying to hide? Well, we've been over that, why she's got to do it behind closed doors at the start, in case there's issues they want to talk about that are protected because they're being investigated. Don't want to compromise investigations or possible grand juries. That's why. So anyway, she was forced to testify. And let's see, how did some of the news agencies act? If it was Trump, my God, the headlines you would see. But with Hillary, let's see. What's this one? Which news organization is this one? USA Today. Liberal garbage. They put up a quote from her. What is being held back? Who is being protected? And why the cover-up? If the majority was serious, it would not waste time on fishing expeditions, Hillary Clinton. And note, she says, hi, Awaken, how you doing? She says, I don't recall meeting Jeffrey Epstein. I don't recall. But anyway, they assist her in her propaganda message that somebody's hiding something. And they're picking on her to hide something, even though any rational adult knows that the Biden administration, Obama administration, none of them put out one damn thing about Epstein. Not one damn thing. Here's BBC News. Oh, they're being sued by Trump. Oh, they don't put up a picture of Hillary. They put up this worn out 1980s photo of Trump and Epstein. Dog-eared, I call them. Dog-eared pictures from 35 years ago. U.S. Justice Department accused of withholding Trump-related Epstein files. They don't focus on Hillary. The top Democrat on the Congressional Committee, what's that? Who's that? Investigating Epstein, accused the Justice Department of withholding files containing allegations of S3 sexual abuse. Keep in mind that a lot of those so-called victims were built into that plea agreement where they would not be prosecuted because they were participating. The plea agreement that was thrown in the trash because it was illegal. A lot of these so-called victims were included in a blanket protection from prosecution, and it's all been thrown in the trash. They don't bring that up. Abuse of a minor made against Donald Trump. Oh, kind of like what's-her-face in Bergdorf's 30 years ago. That criminal endeavor of prosecuting Trump for finger-pointing in a fabricated story. In response, the Justice Department said in capital letters, nothing has been deleted. Trump has repeatedly denied any wrongdoing, blah, blah. BBC News, you're asking for it. You're asking for it. This is about Hillary. Well, the Babylon Bee put this out. That's where I got the picture. A politician on Epstein list grilled by other politicians on Epstein list. So let me see what other blurbs came out about it. You know, nothing that would discuss the financial parts. Okay, you're telling me she was Secretary of State. Her husband met him almost 20 times. Let's hear. Here's Fox News, and he's shoveling millions and millions of dollars into the Clinton Foundation while she's Secretary of State. He's involved with presidents from all around the world, politicians from all around the world. And you're going to tell me she never met him? Fox News focused at least on that subject. I never met Jeffrey Epstein. Now, they got that in quotes. She's not saying I don't recall, but under oath. What do you think? Hi, Mr. Kimbler. What do you think the chances of her under oath of saying, I don't recall ever meeting him? But when she gets out in the public, I never met Jeffrey Epstein. I never had any connection or communication with him. I knew Ghislaine Maxwell casually as an acquaintance. But whatever they asked me, I did my very best to respond. Okay. Well, there's a video of her statement after. I got copies. I don't want to read all that crap of her opening statement to the committee, but I got it. I'll put it on screen if anybody wants to get screenshots of it. This here. Secretary Clinton's opening statement to the House Oversight Committee. I ain't reading all that stuff. But there it is if you want a screenshot of it. It's 3 pages. Let me see. Here's the next page here. I don't want to read it. 2 of 4. It's 4 pages. Page 2 of 4 if you want to read that. I don't want to read it. Here's page 3. Yeah. How long did the old bat testify? There she is. We're wasting the taxpayers' valuable time, I guess. I don't know what the hell she did. Here's the last page. 4 of 4 if you want to get a screenshot. Feel free. But anyway, so afterwards, she came out with a statement. And I don't know how many questions she took because we'll watch it together. How about that? Here she is. Here she is. Looking a little raggedy there, Hillary. What do you think, folks? But anyway, I'll go ahead and play it. Please let me know your opinions of her statement in the chats.
Everybody. Hello. Good evening. Well, I have just finished testifying. I answered every one of their questions as fully as I could, based on what I knew, and what I knew is what I said in my statement this morning. I never met Jeffrey Epstein, never had any connection or communication with him. I knew Ghislaine Maxwell casually as an acquaintance, but whatever they asked me, I did my very best to respond. It was disappointing that they refused to hold a public hearing, so I wouldn't have to be out here characterizing it for you. You could have seen it for yourself. We had asked for that. We think it would have been better for the committee and its efforts to gather whatever information they are seeking. We had a bit of a challenge in the beginning because we had agreed upon rules based on the fact it was going to be a closed hearing at their demand, and one of the members violated that rule, which was very upsetting because it suggested that they might violate other of our agreements.
Yeah, there was a picture of her that got leaked out by Laura Boebert, is what I heard. I don't know for sure. But anyway, I like Benny Johnson okay. I like him okay. But they call him Clickbait Benny for a reason. And he had to run out and put a picture of her. And they did have an agreement not to leak stuff out of the area where they're doing the testimony. And, you know, it's so childish to do that. And they delayed the hearings because the Democrats came out, oh, they leaked a picture of us inside. You know, and I like Lauren Boebert too, but I've talked about her childish behavior with Matt Gaetz. I talked about her childish behavior going to that damn movie theater with a Democrat operative and embarrassed herself. And then Benny Johnson got to run and put it up. Over what? A picture of her face? You had to know that it was going to cause trouble and give them something to complain about, to make things seem illegitimate and irresponsible. And that's exactly what she's doing, exactly what the Democrats did. So I like them both okay, but they need to quit acting like kids. And clicks are not that damn important.
So we had to cease the hearing for a period of time until we could get assurances that no rules would be broken going forward, and we returned to answer questions repetitively, literally over and over again. I don't know how many times I had to say I did not know Jeffrey Epstein. I never went to his island. I never went to his homes. I never went to his offices. So it's on the record numerous times. It then got, at the end, quite unusual because I started being asked about UFOs and a series of questions about Pizzagate, one of the most vile, bogus conspiracy theories that was propagated on the internet, that was serving as the basis of a member's questions to me. So I can only say that the...
Wait till you get a question about Huma Abedin. Wait till you get a question about that laptop. And, well, I'm just looking at the chats here. They want the whole thing public. Yeah, that's true, Miss Mendersu, but this particular interview had to be private because of grand jury concerns and ongoing investigations. And Bill and Hillary both did not want to go into a closed-door session, and there was an agreement for it to be confidential. So doing a childish thing, like taking a picture of her and smuggling it out and giving it to Benny Johnson, made us look like we don't keep our word. And they were told they can testify publicly after they do the private deposition, the one with legal weight under oath, because there are ongoing investigations and grand juries. So that's why I'm getting on Laura Boebert and Benny Johnson for making us seem petty and childish, just to sneak out I mean, how many pictures we got of Hillary's face, you know? But anyway, so now here she is talking about Pizzagate. So all she's got to do is get caught in a couple of lies. And like I said, we don't know. Comer said we would be able to see the transcripts and watch the interviews as quick as he can let them get out, as long as there's stuff not in there that's interfering with ongoing investigations or grand jury evidence. So anyway, here we go.
Best exchange that I had came at the very end, when, contrary to every other deposition they have taken, no Republican member asked any questions about Jeffrey Epstein or Ghislaine Maxwell to anyone else they have deposed. And in fact, the Republican members didn't even show up for the deposition of Les Wexner. And when I said that, I had to point out that the only questions that any Republican member asked of any of the people they deposed was of former Attorney General Bill Barr, when Chairman Comer asked him about the allegations, in his view, about Russia's involvement in my election in 2016. So at the very end of this hearing, after I made that point, I want to commend Chairman Comer for raising a series of significant questions that I responded to about the nature of the investigation and the areas that I thought should be explored. So I appreciated that. I want to see the truth come out. So that was a reassuring way to end a very long, repetitive deposition.
A very long and repetitive deposition. And she was asked what she called, she's inferring that the Russia crap was real. Now, I got two clips of Comer. I think one of them is right after the dopey photo leak. You know, Comer put his reputation up. He's the one that demanded that she testify behind closed doors first, so they could ask the hard questions, and then she was welcome to testify publicly till her eyeballs fell out of her head after the private one. And is that Lauren standing next to her? Next to him, I don't know. They just should have kept their word. I'm not saying Comer didn't keep his word. I'm not saying Comer didn't. I'm saying that, other ones were being a little childish. Anyway, here's Comer.
So we'll do one more question. Go ahead.
So in the spirit of bipartisanship, would you then ask the Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick to come testify? It seems like he has some information.
That's very possible, and I think I think it's a good possibility that his name will arise in some questioning today.
It'll be on my list, and I have an email I printed off for Hillary to ask about Howard Lutnick today.
Okay.
So
we're asking again, and I want to remind everyone, we've already brought in Alex Acosta and Bill Barr for depositions. That's 2 Republicans in the Trump administration. So this isn't just about Democrats. This is about anyone that has any knowledge of Epstein, the investigation. I think we all agree the government failed. The government failed the victims. And what our role is, we can't prosecute anyone. But what we have been doing is getting transparency to the American people.
Did you catch 2 names he said in there? Did you catch 2 names that he said in there? Alex Acosta, who's the labor secretary Trump fired, who's the one who approved the illegal plea deal, okay, and Bill Barr. Bill Barr is the one that forced Acosta out and laid the legal basis down for voiding the plea deal and rearresting Epstein. That was before Hillary's deposition. Now let me find out. I got one Comer after the deposition. He's being interviewed on Fox News. And I have to kind of listen to it real close. I'm pretty sure he said that a lot of what she had communicated was not believable. Let me find it. Holy cow, where'd it go? Melvita, nice to see you. Debbie, nice to see you. Ha-ha, welcome aboard. Welcome aboard, yeah. I think it's interesting that they brought up, I guess I can say it on YouTube now, pizza and then Gate. I think it's interesting, too, that they even brought it up. You know, we have to see what the context was. Was somebody putting it in there as a red herring? And did they bring up the wiener? Okay, is one word and laptop is the other. Let me see if this is Comer. Yeah, here's Comer here. Let me go ahead and play this. This was House Committee denotes bipartisan effort to question Clinton's about Epstein ties. Let me see if this is the one where he talks about her not being he didn't feel she was entirely honest. This might not be the right clip. Let's see.
House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer. Great to see you today. All right, lay this out for me. I mentioned, the back and forth to get them there, and now you've got them. What happens next?
Yeah, well, finally, they're going to have to sit and answer questions under oath to Congress about their knowledge and involvement with the Epstein criminal activity, as well as with Ghislaine Maxwell, who was the primary co-conspirator, the one who was responsible more than anyone for luring the girls into Jeffrey Epstein's world. So one of the questions that we all have in both parties is, how was Jeffrey Epstein able to surround himself with the most powerful people in the world? If you saw Hillary Clinton's interview a few days ago, she acted like they barely knew Epstein and Maxwell. Well, that's funny because Epstein was in the White House 16 times while Bill Clinton was president, and then Bill Clinton flew on his plane 27 times post-presidency, as well as Ghislaine Maxwell had a front row seat at Chelsea Clinton's wedding. So, no one's accusing the Clintons of wrongdoing, but we have a lot of questions because there's a suspicion that Epstein was either an asset for the U.S. government, or he was a spy, or even a double or triple agent. We're concerned from a national security standpoint. Was Epstein trading secrets with other governments? Was he trading secrets to be able to lure the most powerful and richest men in the world to his properties around the world? Just a lot of questions, and hopefully the Clintons will answer our questions and we can take this information and move forward with the investigation.
You know, Chairman, we played this for our audience because we wanted to understand and showcase the fact that some of this is really bipartisan. You saw Congressman Robert Garcia of California just moments ago saying, yeah, they have questions for the Clintons, too. Are you talking with Republicans who are also in those Epstein files?
Absolutely. But what you're going to see, and I'm, trying to be nonpartisan in this investigation because I think the American people overwhelmingly agree, regardless of ideology, that people need to be held accountable for this. And people have a lot of questions about how Epstein was able to amass so much wealth and was able to surround himself with the most powerful men in the world. So we're going to bring Republicans in. We've deposed Alex Acosta and Bill Barr, both former cabinet secretaries in the Trump administration. I think that it's very likely to see a former person that was involved in Republican circles in. But the truth of the matter is about 85% of the people that were prominent who were involved with Epstein are Democrats. So, we're going to continue to question whoever they are, regardless of political party or political identification. But the fact of the matter is the majority of the people were Democrats.
So interesting. And what we've seen this week with what's happening across the pond in Great Britain and their scooping up of, you saw the investigation touch so many people in leadership.
Yeah, this was before the testimony. I'm sorry, I thought it was after the testimony. This is a clip where he said he was, just like she just said, they were keeping an eye on what was happening in the UK. So I'm sure there's going to be an exchange of information concerning the Epstein situation because he compromised so many governments. Oh, by the way, it is the 145, 146 mark. I put a link in the chats for Buy Me a Coffee since this is a totally viewer-supported channel. I'm not monetized on YouTube, and I have a link for Buy Me a Coffee. And I had to, this is the final week of the month. Holy cow. And I had, I'm letting bombs off. I had people come in to Buy Me a Coffee and help out with the channel. Kaboom! Colette, Miss Mendersoo, kapow! Oh, I hit her right in the kisser. Mike and Bev, kaboom! And Roland, and Brush, and Wayne, boom, pow! Oh, right in the forehead. That was a good one. So anyway, I appreciate it, folks. Link in the chats and also in the description, but I don't know if that one works or not. But anyway, we got things rolling with Hillary. I think she's lying through her teeth. And I think there's going to be something come out about it that's going to be hard for her to get out of. Hard for her to get out of. But they've had all those years to manipulate those files. All those years to manipulate those files. Master manipulators. And all those years to try to set people up. Ha ha ha. Ms. Mendersoo, bow, pow, boom, pow, coffee cups everywhere. So anyway, I had this video where there's a Cretan attacked a Turning Point USA table, where they have stuff that you can, info, brochures, stuff like that. Now, let me tell you something. If you go to a college and you're going to send your child, you see the person on the right. If you see somebody like that there as a student, you probably don't want to send your kid there. Just saying. But anyway, here's this individual decides to steal stuff off the Turning Point USA table.
Hey! Hey, can you stay by my table? Hey, give back the sign. I'll call the cops. Do you want the cops?
What do you notice about this individual? Have you all noticed anything about this person? Just saying, just put it in the chats. If you notice anything about this person, look at that. I froze it where both feet are airborne, off the ground. And did you see how quick she got across that street? It was a blink of an eye. Replay the video, you'll see it.
It's called? Okay. You guys want to call 911? She stole my stuff. You want to give that back? You're committing the crime on video. Here, I got yours. Go catch it, bitch. You want to say anything to the cops?
How about when you chased down a student and recorded them? Yeah. Here, I got it. Exactly. You just told me that when I called, I was told that he was not. This is her property.
I'm sorry. He's on.
No, you can't change.
I can't change.
You cannot change what you said.
Okay, listen. He's on public property.
This is private.
This is private property. And I corrected myself. This is not.
No, you're just lying at this point. You're just saying what benefits. Listen. Sidewalk. This is the school. The school built this. The city built this. That is private. This is public.
Where he's at is completely legal.
The school built piece of shit.
Why are you on here? That's what I'm confused. Because we're just trying to keep the peace.
Why are we paying you? Why is our tuition paying you?
What he's doing is legal. What do you want to do?
Why is our tuition paying you?
Disturbing the
Yes, he's disturbing the peace.
By doing what? To be honest,
he literally told me that gay people should not be together.
Okay.
He's talking illiterate people. He's harassing. He also chased down his student. He recorded it. He chased down his student. We'll fight for the gospel. We'll honor his name.
Do you think Charlie Kirk would watch gay films?
No.
What about training?
Why do you ask?
He seems like the guy.
Abortions because your brain came out and a real adult person over the age of 25?
Like, go to some
you are a full beard. These are 18-year-olds. Yeah, record me, because you know how fucking stupid you look.
Hey, be careful with that. If I saw you doing that, they might shoot you dead in the street.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, maybe I should be careful with my camera. Maybe I should be careful with my camera.
You're not saying that.
Don't come back. Don't come back. Don't come back. Don't come back.
Yeah, I went ahead and showed you the whole mess. She didn't have a cane. She had two. What do they call those things? Two of them. I'm just going to play the first few seconds. Look how quick she gets across the street. Look at that. Did you see how fast she went across the street? I didn't do anything to alter that video. She shot across that street like a cut hyena. There is by no metric is she disabled as far as ambulating or walking. There is by no metric where she needs those devices to stay upright. It's a fraud, an eternal fraud. Her plan is, and she probably will, but she shouldn't be getting checks for the rest of her life, where she can afford to dress like a freak, look like a freak, act like a freak, and run around, do whatever the hell she wants. And the same for the rest of that pack you saw at the end, that pack of mentally disturbed individuals. They all got some issue going on that they claim causes them some manner of disability where they need checks for the rest of their lives from their age of 20s or even as a child. Like the scam they're pulling in Minnesota, where funding for autism went from $1 million in 2017 to $200 $70 million all of a sudden. It's a scam. So anyway, Citizen Free Press put this up. I was debating whether I should play it or not. Oh, no, this is another one. What? Wait a minute. I get this. I'll play this first. Blue Zeke Daly, 26, who identifies as trans, was arrested in New Hampshire for allegedly opening fire on Border Patrol agents after being stopped near the Canadian border. He tried to flee and crashed into a snowbank. Let's see. I guess I don't have the introduction for the other one, but I'll go ahead and play this. What's Zeke Daly or whatever?
We were forced to break this story late on Sunday night, and it's been tough to get information. It's really been piecemeal. But now we know that this suspect is from Manchester. A 26-year-old from Manchester is in the hospital tonight after allegedly exchanging fire with Border Patrol in Pittsburgh early Sunday morning. According to an affidavit filed this afternoon, Blue Zeke Daly, who is also known as Cullen Zeke Daly, fired shots at an agent who then returned fire and shot Daly. The FBI says that Daly had been stopped in Stewartstown by the agent who asked whether Daly used other names. Daly then immediately drove away. Investigators say that officer followed Daly, and when Daly approached the U.S.-Canada border, Daly tried to drive off and started shooting. The officer then returned fire, according to the affidavit, before Daly lost control and ended up in a snowbank. Officers found a handgun and ammunition and is facing several charges, including attempted murder of a federal officer. The FBI is now leading this investigation alongside the U.S. Attorney in New Hampshire. Now, both of these charges carry up to 20 years in prison, respectively, and fines of up to $250,000. In Manchester, Ariel Metropolis, WMUR, News 9.
And you won't be in the prison of your choice. You'll be in a prison that it coincides with your gender, your as-born gender. But I don't have the introduction to the video, but I remember Citizens Free Press, and I'm debating whether I should play it or not, said that this person you see on the screen is going to go to jail for the rest of their life. So the one I just played is going to be looking at 22 counts, 20 years each. Sometimes they run them concurrent, sometimes they run them consecutive. I don't know. But hopefully they'll go away for a long time. But listen to what this idiot. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I do. They came out and said, let me see. Retired professor. Yeah, here it is. Retired professor is going to spend the rest of his life in prison. We asked Grok to identify him. Wesley Arnold, 80. Imagine being an 80-year-old person and behaving this way. A retired Macomb County Community College professor who taught computer science. He's also local Warren, Michigan historian in the city's historical commission. In a clip from a February 24th council meeting, he referred to buying a, quote, high-power ATL 36X for a headshot at a distance, later clarifying it as camera gear for photos, not a gun. Secret Service visited his home the next day and removed a handgun. Well, let's see why Citizens Free Press thinks he's going to spend the rest of his life in prison. Tell me what you think.
I have ordered a high-power ATL 36X arriving shortly, which I hope to actually use to shoot the President of the United States. I'm not kidding. This is
Mr. Arnold.
A very high, powerful item, and it's great for a headshot at a distance. And I didn't want it to be delivered by drone because I wouldn't want something like that to be in the wrong hands. That's it. Thank you.
Yeah. They removed a gun from his home. Did they remove his rear end from the home? Is what I want to know. Yeah, he's a fool. So anyway, did you all hear? This came up out of the blue. Out of the blue was this meeting with Donald Trump and Zoran Mamdani. Kind of like, I won't call it an emergency meeting, but it popped up out of the ground. Trump to meet with Mayor Mamdani in a surprise White House visit. Breaking, President Trump is set to meet with, and they did meet. They are expected to discuss housing issues, particularly those affecting New York City, according to the New York Post. And Mamdani put this up. I had a productive meeting with President Trump this afternoon. I'm looking forward to building more housing in New York City. Well, that was spur of the moment, wasn't it? But it turns out there was a young lady who was, let me put the article up, was supposed to get deported. Let me see. And now apparently she's not. Let me see if I can find her. And I don't know if that required a personal meeting from Trump. Oh, where is it? I don't want to put those pictures. I got more pictures of those creeps from the State of the Union. I don't want to put them up. Let me see. Where'd it go? Anyway, holy cow. I had it in there. I thought I did. Anyway, she's a nice-looking young lady. She was from Azerbaijan. And she was picked up by the Department of Homeland Security just the other day. They said she gave false information to get into a college. And they say that Trump released her right after the meeting with Mamdani. I guess you have to go. Here she is. Here she is. Anyway, here's the picture. Here she is. I don't know what her claim to fame is or what. But ABC News, a Columbia University student who was detained by DHS Thursday morning after the school claimed she allegedly made misrepresentations to enter a dorm, was released later in the day after Zoran Mamdani spoke with the president. Mamdani announced Thursday afternoon that President Donald Trump informed him that the student, Elena Aghayeva, would be released immediately after the mayor said he spoke with the president. Now, another article I read earlier in the day was that she was from Azerbaijan and her student visa was revoked in 2016 by the Obama administration. Now, I don't want to overanalyze it, but you have this kind of surprise meeting. You have Zoran meeting Trump over housing, supposedly. Let me tell you, the Obama administration isn't going to do any favors for somebody that's not on their side. And Azerbaijan is a weird situation politically. They wouldn't give a damn. Obama wouldn't give a damn if she was from a family that was not down with Obama's agenda, namely Muslim Brotherhood. Anyway, So there's something going on there. And Trump acted very quickly, very quickly. And I don't know, it'd be interesting to find out more, but I trust Trump. And if he felt that she needed to be protected from being returned to Azerbaijan, if she felt that she was being treated unfairly by the Obama administration for having her visa yanked and was subject to immediate deportation because Obama and Susan Rice and all the other trash, Valerie Jarrett, part of the Muslim Brotherhood, every single one of them, I trust Trump's judgment. And I don't believe the meeting was about housing. I'll put it that way. So anyway, here's the question of the day. Or what brought up the question of the day. You remember that judge right there, that face? That face. He's already been told to stay out of immigration issues by the Supreme Court. Judge Murphy. Okay? This is what came out today. Courtroom clash. A federal judge appointed by former President Biden again ruled against the Trump administration's third country deportation policy, months after the Supreme Court blocked his earlier decision and rebuked him in a rare follow-up order. That's why I put in my title, Illegal Orders. What point does this administration have to get to where they can call a spade and get these judges that are breaking the law and call them to account? Judge Murphy, confirmed by the Senate along with party lines, and we have so many that are we've discussed in the past, have these questionable pasts. I'm not sure if it's, it's easy enough to look up, but anyway. And I'm sure Andrew Branco will give us a complete breakdown of this character. He issued an 81-page ruling. They got to get into all this pontification and sentiment and feelings, histrionic crap. Ruling Thursday, finding the Department of Homeland Security's deportation process unlawful, saying it violated migrants' due process rights by not giving them enough time to raise fears of torture in the countries they would be sent to. So here we go again. Here we go again with a rogue judge. And this brought up, ABC News put this up. And all the Democrats have been drooling for Trump to do something like this, for them all to bitch and complain about. Pro-Trump attorneys push for executive order that would give President Trump sweeping power over elections. Well, I think it would give him power over quite a few things. We've got, they say the SAVE Act is dead. That they're not going to vote on the SAVE Act. That they're going to keep the filibuster. That Trump showed in front of the world they want to let the illegals vote. Then we have a federal judge, again, defying the Supreme Court and ordering to keep illegals in the country. How damned obvious can it be to people what they are doing? They're harboring illegal aliens. They're giving them material support. They're giving them legal support. They're giving them financial support. At what point can this be fairly described as an insurrection? When will the people accept that? They'll say Trump's a dictator. Are we going to have to go through a brutal midterm election to get to the precipice? We've been at the precipice for years, looking down a chasm. How many people haven't been there yet? How many more we need to get to the precipice? A group of pro-Trump attorneys and supporters is circulating a draft of the presidential executive order that uses alleged Chinese interference in the 2020 election, of which there is no evidence. Oh, do you know what the FISA court may have found out about the Supreme Court ruling on tariffs? Buyer beware. China-centric attorneys somehow getting standing in front of the Supreme Court to stop the president of the United States? You don't think that didn't come from somewhere with big, big money? To justify a national emergency declaration that they claim would give President Trump sweeping power over voting, multiple sources told ABC News. It's not the only reason it's an emergency. It's an emergency because the Department of Homeland Security is shut down right now because our Congress cannot function. Our courts cannot function. They don't even obey their own damn orders. The 17-page draft order, which sources say Trump has reviewed, would mandate the use of voter ID and hand-counted ballots and ban mail-in ballots ahead of the upcoming midterm elections. The attorneys pushing the draft order said that they anticipated it would be incorporated into a planned executive order which they expect to be issued soon. It is not clear if Trump is considering or will ultimately issue the order. What's your thoughts in the chats, folks? The courts can't function in the manner which they were intended. Congress cannot even keep the government open or issue a balanced budget. Judge Murphy, is he going to get kicked out very quickly by an appeals court? Is he going to order officials be held in criminal contempt? I know one thing he's going to do. He's going to have thousands and thousands of Kilmar Abrego Garcias sitting in limbo when they should be getting the hell out of our country. Bukele got him out, those judges out. He got him out. Here we go with some more manipulation by the press. ABC News. Top Democrats accuse Bondi and DOJ of Epstein file cover-up, and they're using that same old dog-eared photo. I haven't even touched upon where they were spying on Cash Patel and Susie Wiles. Here's the way CNN puts out this story. FBI Director Patel ousts personnel tied to Trump classified documents probe. I'm sure they were tied to the Steele dossier too. I'm sure they were tied to the J6 bomber too. I'm sure they were tied to a lot of things. But he fired them because he found out they were spying on him and Susie Wiles and the spying on senators and House members with Jack Smith, an illegal appointment. But they say it's all because of Trump's classified documents cases. CNN, a criminal narrative that they push. Who do you think runs this so-called, I show Babylon Bee, but there's this thing called The Onion. This is the left's idea of humor. Cash Patel faces backlash after partying with Nancy Guthrie's captors. That's supposed to be like the Babylon Bee, making fun of current events. Where's the humor in that? What kind of connection, even to be sarcastic or humorous, is there between the American hockey team and Nancy Guthrie's kidnapper? But the messages are like, oh yeah, that's so funny. They're morbid. They're morbid. Speaking of Nancy Guthrie, she upped the reward to $1 million. Or is it more than that? 2 million? I don't know. But I was wrong. And I always admit when I'm wrong. Savannah Guthrie is going to return to New York City. And the Today Show. And I backtracked when I said she wouldn't be on TV again. But I backtracked when I said Laura Logan went through a terrible situation, a traumatic situation, and she's still in media. So I said maybe she will come back. So I wasn't entirely wrong. But nobody's perfect. Well, Savannah Guthrie is preparing to return to New York City after nearly a month in Arizona, even as the search for her abducted mother drags on with no clear answers. I'm going to say it again, that my opinion on the situation is that whether or not they were tied to cartels or tied to somebody who wanted revenge, the individual that committed the act, I'm going to say, was a career petty criminal, a itinerant reprobate, okay, with sadistic urges, abnormal urges, all right? And he made it up as he went along, and he took his DNA with him. That's what I think happened. He's not some exotic sneaky cat burglar with all these tricks of the trade. He's not a James Bond type or a computer genius with Bitcoin or anything like that. I think he's a low-level career criminal reprobate that made it up as he went along. And she was in that house for half a century, 35 years alone. Everybody knew about it. She was a sitting duck. Just a matter of time till you get that knowledge into the brain of a sadistic, degenerate, reprobate, common criminal. And that's what I think we're dealing with. And if something else comes up and I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It's terrible. Don't wish it on anybody, of course. Ha! Here's another one from Babylon Bee. I was going to put my little mountain man head on here. You know where I got that self-portrait, you know, me with my hat on, holding my blunderbuss. Bold right-wing truth teller very carefully chooses words so as not to speak truths that would anger own audience. So anyway, I thought that was funny because when I talk about, I avoid certain things because I know, listen, you can't let clickbaiters and the crooked media take you off into fantastical thinking. You got to be realistic and rational in everything you look at. Here's two notorious cases. Cheeky Nick Reiner grins during parents' double murder hearing. Tell me that's not some sort of demonic infestation of the mind and your soul. I don't care what, no, yeah. He was on hard drugs at the age of 14 and maybe sooner than that. Heroin and all this. Who the heck knows what that's done to him? But you have lost a piece of your soul if you're going to sit there and grin during something like this. Just like this creep. Right here. They've already, I just grabbed this because it was, this was from 2 days ago. He's waiting on a big ruling. He's trying to get the prosecutors off the case. He lost that. They say he's facing a critical ruling. It's over. You're not getting rid of the prosecutors. But I'm bringing him up because they are successful in keeping cameras off of him because he keeps laughing. And we know what a demented weirdo this person is, a furry involved in this transformer business. I mean, we have got a spiritual problem in this country. And those are just two of the most notorious cases. Maniacs grinning. Yeah, I thought that too. I agree, Kim, a message for Savannah. But who they use as a messenger. You know, in the criminal underworld, you've got these reprobates and ne'er-do-wells that'll do it. Just that simple. They have no compunction. But they're not going to use somebody real smart. And like I said, if he was hired by somebody to do it, he's probably not around anymore, if you know what I mean. You get rid of him. You know, I'm going to show you all this. Jack Posobiec put it up a little bit before I went live. Matt Kester made the best video showing how Tyler Robinson likely hid the collapsed Mauser 98. No goggling, I want to ask the chat a question. When do you think they started making these Mauser 98s? Hi, Devin. Yeah, I saw that. When do you think no goggling, when do you think they started making Mausers? 98s. 98s is a system, a bolt action system. So anyway, if people are still, I haven't talked about it much, but there is no doubt in my mind. Mr. Minister said no clue. Todd said 1914. Sissy said 20 years ago. When they talk about collapsing a rifle, I think they're talking about taking the bolt action out, and you can drop that in the back of your pants or in your front pocket. Rain said in the 40s. So when you hear Mauser 98, that's in reference to the ammo feed system, which is bolt action. The first one was made, see if I get any other guesses. Drum roll. Dun, 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 boom, boom. Kim's close. She said World War I. The first one was made in 1898. And I think the Italians quit making it in 38 or 9, but the Germans kept making it till 1945. So 50 years almost of the same model of gun. And now they're doing Now they're doing, what do you call it? Replicas, operational replicas. They bought the patent and they bought the. So in 2009, to present, they're still making them. The question, Devin, was when did they start making Mauser 98s? The type of rifle you're going to see. How this creepy, furry individual that took the life of Charlie Kirk, how he managed to get it in the building. So I'll let y'all watch it.
Well, my 18-year-old, 6 foot something assistant here who weighs how many pounds?
140.
140-ish, okay? I don't know what the killer's weight was, but we do know that based on the mugshot, he was about 72 inches tall, and that's what this individual right here is. And essentially, the change was carrying the stock in the front. If you can see down here, the jeans are a little bit baggier, but if you pull them back, you remember that image of the gigantic cell phone sitting right here in the thigh? That's your stock. That explains why the leg motion cannot come forward, because it's completely locked in. And if you see, I'll put the video or the image up on the screen in the photo, you can start to see an outline of the stock, okay? This has solved the riddle that has been bugging me the whole time about the bulk of the stock. Essentially, I believe now with 90-something% certainty that the stock was carried this way and the barrel was carried on the side. Now, whether or not the scope came off or not, that's an item for debate, and we can talk about the ramifications of that later. But I think with certainty, you can't be certain about anything, but I think as close as we can be to certain, this is how this was carried. And I'm going to let this guy demonstrate. We're also going to go out in the stairwell, shoot a little video of him walking in the stairs so you can see that it was possible to climb the stairs like this. So, go ahead. That's why I think he hooked it underneath his armpit. Yeah. Kept his arm straight down, because if you see when he walks, he doesn't have his hands in pockets, they're out. Keep your hands out. All right, now walk towards me. Or walk that way. Pull your hand up when you come back the next way. When you show me that other side the next time, keep your hand off of it.
Hard to believe. Hard to believe you could conceal a rifle like that. But I mean, they're doing it right before your eyes. Yeah, 1898 was the first model. 1898.
All right, walk straight at me. Try it again. Okay, let's turn around and walk away from the back. Huh? That's the skinniest pair of jeans you own?
I don't have fucking skinny jeans, man.
Oh, all right. All right, walk back down, and then I'll get up on the other side.
Did he ever use the railing at all or not?
I've seen him with his hands on the handrail, yeah. All right, let's try it.
Yeah, that's the way he was filmed walking and the way he was filmed going up the steps. People are probably looking at him, saying, "Oh, you poor man, you have trouble walking." No, he didn't have trouble walking. He was planning to do something heinous, and he did do something heinous. Yeah, Todd knows a lot. Well, if it's got the bolt taken out, you wouldn't have a accidental discharge. You didn't even have a clip in it. You pull the bolt action out, and it can't fire. Those are made for easy cleaning, quick disassembling and cleaning and reassembling, because they're out in the field. You can't be messing around with screwdrivers and stuff like that. But anyway, let's see. What have you all heard about this? This is the first I heard of it yesterday. It makes no sense. A U.S. flag boat invaded Cuban waters and opened fire. According to the Ministry of Interior of the Latin American country, Cuban border guards eliminated 4 people on the vessel with return fire. Cuban Coast Guard officials also injured another 6 people. And I had to kind of listen to different videos to find out what time this was. 2:00 in the afternoon. What sense does it make for a U.S. flag speedboat with 10 people on board to engage in a battle? Cuban Coast Guard officers also injured another 6 people. The ministry clarified that when the Coast Guard vessel approached the vessel registered in Florida to identify the passengers, shots were fired from the boat, as a result of which the captain of the Cuban vessel was injured. So that was the first report I saw. Now we're hearing that at least one of the people who is expired was an American citizen. I don't know how many of the 6. So I watched this video. I don't know how many of the 6 are citizens. They called them Cuban expatriates. But we haven't had, I guess we've had them all through the early 2000s, but mostly during the 60s, we got most of the people who were run out of Cuba by the communist regime. So what sense does that make for them to do that? Who put them up to it? Is that what even really happened? But what they're saying is, I shouldn't have took that picture down, but what they're saying is that the boat was stolen from a guy who lives in Florida. I wrote it down. He lives in Florida, but he was down in Key West. He was up north near Miami Lakes is where he lives. But he was on vacation in the Keys, and somebody stole the boat, is what he's saying. Does it sound like a C.I.A. operation? I think they would find a little bit better way to get their vessel, wouldn't you think? And are we ever going to get them back? Or is it just some... I mean, we're never going to get to interview these people. Now, I would be thinking that it was some kind of setup, that they discovered some guys fishing off of Key West and kidnapped them to prevent Trump from doing anything against the government, and fabricated the whole thing. But then I heard that the guy is in the Keys right now, said his boat was stolen. Yeah, it's only 90 miles, Kim, from Key West. They were 1 mile off of the Cuban coast, is what's reported. I don't know. It just seems very fortuitous for the Cuban government with the pressure they're under. Let me see what this story is. Oh. Exclusive video. Laura Loomer. She's a firecracker, like her or not. I told you months ago that former Arizona chairwoman Gina Swoboda is not America First. Hidden camera footage exclusively obtained by Loomer Unleashed shows our undercover journalists questioning one of Gina Swoboda's signature gatherers in Florida. No, in Arizona. Sorry, I had Florida on the brain. In the video, the man collecting ballot qualification signatures for Swoboda says illegal aliens should be allowed to vote if they pay taxes. Oh, that sounds like something Judge Murphy would come up with. Raising more suspicion, he also claimed that Gina is currently running for 2 positions in Arizona at the same time. He said on video that he is collecting signatures to qualify to run for Congress in Arizona in AZ1, in addition to collecting signatures. Wait a minute. Whoa. For her to qualify to be on the ballot as a candidate for Secretary of State of Arizona. Oh my God. One that certifies elections. The worst part about this is the fact that Gina Swoboda is currently running for the position of Arizona Secretary of State, who oversees elections and election laws in Arizona. If Gina Swoboda's staff can't uphold basic American principles and law and order, why should Arizona voters put Gina Swoboda in charge of handling all elections in Arizona, a key swing state and border state that is plagued by illegal immigration and is also notorious for election fraud? This is very alarming and warrants an immediate investigation. So here's the undercover video. I don't know how well you can hear this operative of Swoboda registering for 2 different offices.
Gina, she's running for District 1 and for Secretary of State.
So Gina's running for Secretary of State?
And Congress.
Okay.
She's running for 2 positions.
Undocumented folks that pay taxes.
Undocumented people that pay taxes.
Should they have a right to vote?
Of course they should, if they're paying taxes.
I don't know how you couldn't just sink a foot right in their rear end for talking like that. Traitors. Traitors. Yeah, Rubio's on it. I see your comments, Devin. I don't see them all because I'm talking. It's hard to keep up with chats when you're covering things. Guy on a speedboat was obsessed with freeing people from Cuba. Well, it'd be nice to interview somebody with direct knowledge of what was going on. I mean, what was this? You'd have to have 10 lunatic. I mean, if somebody came up to me and said, hey, after lunch, what we're going to do, because they said Cuba claims they found explosives, an RPG, machine guns, ammunition, IEDs, all this crap, right? I mean, to do that in broad daylight, you would have to be a lunatic. So anyway, I didn't know about this. After social media spat with Megyn Kelly, Chris Cuomo threatens her husband, Douglas Brunt. I guess I got to quit being a nice guy and call him Fredo. I don't know. I haven't seen the video. Let me see. Do you believe he threatened Megyn Kelly's husband? Chris Cuomo? I don't know. Let's see. Let us see.
I worry that someday I don't wind up meeting her husband in a situation where he has to own her words. That's the only thing that I think about when I hear her. Like someday, if I'm ever in the right place at the right time and I have an opportunity to say, what do you think about what she says? That's a dangerous moment. But let her say what she wants. I know the business she's in. She's a professional provocateur. She's mad at somebody every second. You don't think it's fake? Seriously? You pay for that shit? You reward that shit? That's on you. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. Maybe that makes me a chauvinist. Maybe that makes me oblivious. I don't know. I'm guilty of everything. But I know that I see it for what it is. And it's just bullshit. It's just angry bullshit.
Yeah, he thinks he's a tough guy because he goes to the gym. You don't know what Megyn Kelly's husband can do. He might put a knot on your head like an egg, but it won't roll off. Yeah, you can pick, if you're on top messages, it's the people that comment the most is what you'll see. If you set it for all messages, you'll see them in the order they come in. I don't know why YouTube does it that way. Here is Yasmin Crockett. I thought she was done. But no, Yasmin Crockett builds sizable lead in tightly contested primary. Shock poll finds. She's leading in the highly contested Democratic Party Senate primary by a whopping 12 points, according to a new poll conducted by the University of who the hell knows. But anyway, here's Cardi B. I think she's endorsing Crockett. I don't know. I believe so. This is another. Remember a term I used for Ilhan Omar, gutter snipe.
Listen up, y'all. Early primary voting is happening right now in Texas, and we need Yasmin Crockett to win. She is running for U.S. Senate, and if you want somebody that's going to fight for your right, if you want somebody to fight for your community, if you want somebody that's going to go up there and represent you and represent your issues, please vote for my sister Yasmin Crockett. Because one thing about it, she's going to fight her best. She's going to fight whoever she has to, so your voice and your problems could be heard. Vote right now. This counts so much. Vote right now.
You remember what Trump said about these fake polls? Fake polls. That they should be illegal. And because, well, let me see if I still got this video in the feed. There's a video of this woman who voted. She voted for Yasmin Crockett's opponent, but she was crying about it. Oh, I don't know if I still have it or not. She said, oh, I love Yasmin Crockett, but I couldn't vote for her because we need somebody who's got to win. So, did that, if they're hearing that, would they shell out some money to a pollster that would be dishonest? Of course they would, in my opinion. I always got to add that. Oh, I had it in. I might still have it in here. Oh, here she is. Here she is. This was like 4 days ago. Did they see this a lot and decide to talk to somebody with a little bit of walking around money?
Yes, we need a fighter. And I was so ready to vote for Yasmin Crockett because I love her. But I voted for Tallarico because we need somebody who can win.
Yeah, 3 days later, this shock poll comes out. I'm just putting two and two together. I don't know. What do y'all think? Did they even call anybody, or did they just make crap up? Yeah, Kim, I was thinking the same thing. Yeah, it's disgusting. Disgusting people. But anyway, we'll see how strong she, her opponent, her Republican opponent is what's going to be important. And, but anyway, folks, I'm going to put this person up. Because they're done. The Democrats are done. But man, they're going out fighting, aren't they? I'm going to put one more time. If anybody wants to help the channel out, I'm going to put a link in the description. In the chats for Buy Me a Coffee. If anybody wants to help the channel out. And I appreciate everybody that helped out this week. The final week of the month. We're coming down. What do we got? Another 4 days left or 3 days? Colette, Miss Minder Sue, Mike and Bev, Roland, Brush, and Wayne. Did anybody see Roland tonight? What's he doing? But anyway, folks, if you're out there, Roland, we appreciate you. Anyway, I'm going to play this video. And what do I always say? I got some other stuff. I'm going to be going live tomorrow night. I'll keep some videos in my studio that we can laugh at together. But anyway, what do I always say? I say thank you for spending your precious time with me. And like I say, I should be going live tomorrow night. Please remember to give me a thumbs up. Thank you, everybody on Rumble, for watching. And if you're not following me on Rumble or not subscribed on Utizzle, why not? It'll help the videos get around. So anyway, enjoy this quick video. You all have a great night. I'll be seeing you soon. This is Mountain Man, over and out.
Me being a black woman, sometimes I get so agitated by blacks because we sit up here literally allow Democrats to gaslight us. We sit up here and literally allow Democrats to make us believe that Donald Trump is going to take things away from us because we're black and because we supposed to be, he thinks we're ignorant. No, wrong, 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 wrong. At the end of the day, Democrats, I'm never going to vote for you all. You all didn't even stand up during the State of the Union when Trump was talking, when that girl that was killed on the subway's mother was speaking. And then you illegals that's been over here 10, 20 years think we give a damn about him giving y'all the boot back to your country. At the end of the day, it's so sad. Democrats, I'm not staying on y'all plantation anymore. I don't even live here. I live in another state and I managed to get my birth certificate. So no, it's not about that. Blacks, stop believing everything that you hear about Donald Trump and do the work yourself. We need to get out of that ignorance and that Trump delusional syndrome and get back to common sense and let people realize that we have more sense than they think.